You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's Devious Maids After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Devious Maids After Show.
Oh, yeah. That song never gets old. Hey guys, what's up? It's Laila, and we are here with your Devious Maids After Show. We have it's episode, or the last episode, the season finale, Look Back in Anger, and it's part 1 of our after show. We actually have 2 special guests in the studio tonight. The first lovely guest we have over here across the table from me is Miss Edy Ganem. Eddie, sorry.
No worries.
I always like want to call you Edy.
I feel like I get that everywhere I go, so no worries.
So Eddie. And also joining me in studio are my other 2 lovely co-hosts.
Hi guys, Candice here.
Hey everyone, Francesca.
Yeah, so you guys, did you guys all, what did you think of the season finale?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I was like cursing the TV.
Be honest.
I mean, honestly,
Yes.
like me and Candice were texting while we were watching it last night, and I was like, what? How did they just end it like that? Well, I guess we need, season 3.
Season 3.
I dropped my bottle of wine. That's how
She
I
did.
got.
She did.
That's exactly what I say. I'm like, wait, you can't end it like that, so we have to have a 3rd season.
Yeah, you have to. So yeah,
When will you
exactly.
guys actually know if season 3 is going to go into
I think
it?
anytime now.
Anytime
I was
now?
actually talking to some of the producers, and we got the ratings, which are amazing. So he's like,
Yay.
okay, this is, there's very good, we're just waiting now for like
The waiting
good news. So
game.
we're just hopefully crossing our fingers. And last season we heard earlier, so I guess they're taking their time now, and they're just making us suffer.
Building the torment.
Yeah, the torment. It's the drama. They like the drama. Yes.
Well, I mean, we see, they hint at who's going to die, but you never know with the show. I mean, we hope it's not you, of course.
Well, you know what I was looking at? I realized last night from actually watching, because you go back and you see all these details. I was like, okay, he shot like 3 times, so I think 3 of us are gonna die.
Oh my god! No, you know what? I'm gonna be optimistic, and I think that his aim was off. He's a bad
missed.
shot. Yeah, he missed. He shot.
I'm like, wait, how many times
a
did you
bird.
shoot it? You go back season 3 and it's like a whole new cast.
Here's the thing, I didn't mean to jump into the very end, but what was the point of that? Because I mean, obviously he's crazy. He needs to take his meds, but
Yes.
now both of the parents know of the other 2 kids. So what's the point of killing you?
And Carmen saw.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. So Carmen knows for sure how crazy Ty is. Like, he's just insane.
Yeah.
Well, I feel that Ty is really paranoid because Valentina. Nobody kill me. So Valentina went to the police and basically said everything she knew, and based on what Ethan told her. But she doesn't really know the names of the other guys,
Yeah.
and she doesn't really know who else is involved and everything they've done, or all the specifics and what goes down and whatever. So for all Ty knows is that he can still get rid of her and avoid anyone ever finding out that he was involved with anything, because as of right now nobody really knows. So I think he's trying to still keep it that way, in a very psycho way.
Very psycho. We were, a couple episodes ago, we were like, why would he even, because even in this last episode, one of the guys, I can't remember his name, was like, we accidentally killed Alejandro, but if you really want to
Take her out.
take her out, so
That's another level.
That's a different kind of murder.
Yeah.
it's legit.
It's a different kind of homicide.
I mean, also because, everyone's kind of leaving town. All the other guys are like, okay, well, I'm going to Europe. I'm leaving to I don't know where. But I mean, I guess they could still get caught. And then if they get questioned, I guess whatever. So I think Ty is just thinking the easiest way would be to cut the loose end. Because, the other guys would probably not want to really say much. But I guess if they...
But if something did happen to Valentina, I think Ethan would come back and step up.
Yeah, and I think he sees her as the outsider of the one that kind of ruined everything.
Yeah.
Maybe the Beatles and Joko Ono.
You're the Yoko.
She came and destroyed.
You broke the group up. What are you thinking? Don't mess with crazies. Come on.
That's awesome.
No, destroying a group.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I hope he didn't get you guys. Hopefully it was like someone had a ketchup packet in their pocket, you know, and that was the blood on the roses. That's someone was eating tacos
when you
at the
see
ceremony.
the blood
Or
on
like-
the roses, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess there's like only so many options, but we've seen the whole missing the shot, so you cannot just get grazed by a bullet.
This is
First season we saw one of the characters get shot accidentally in the belly, and then she lost a baby. So yeah.
Something clever is gonna happen.
Something clever needs to happen. Marc Cherry
I think
will
Rosie's in the
definitely-
clear because she's still, you see her dress at the end when the flowers
Yeah,
fall.
fall.
So I'm hoping Rosie's safe.
And you know, it's kind of nerve-wracking because we don't know.
yeah, exactly.
We're all like, okay.
Nobody knows.
How awesome is it working with Marc?
Oh, it's amazing. He's definitely brilliant, and the more I work with him, the more the time, you know, now it's the second season, the more I realize how brilliant he is. I remember the first season, and there were things that he was like, oh, do this way, and I was just like, oh, I'm not sure, you know, like I didn't fully like trust him, and then I still did it because he's my boss. And then I went back and looked at the episode, and I was like, oh my God, he really does know what he's talking about. He was right.
Yeah.
He's just a creative genius.
He's a genius, and he knows what he wants, and he's so sweet. He's a big teddy bear. He's just such a nice guy. I like every time he comes to the set because the writers are still here in LA, so they can fly back and forth, LA, Atlanta.
Yeah, I think you guys have some of the best one-liners of any show. Like,
Yeah,
I'm just
they're
gonna
amazing.
put it out there. I crack up all the time. Like,
It's amazing. And it's so hard. I feel like I have to deal with these one-liners a lot because it's like Genevieve talking to me saying these like crazy things, or maybe like Evelyn Powell, and it's like, oh my God, how am I supposed to not laugh right now?
Yeah,
It's,
you're like,
yeah. So, but it's just really fun. It's yeah.
yeah, it's great.
We love Rebecca. We had her on a couple weeks ago. She's awesome.
amazing. I know. I love her too.
She's just so great in that, and the character too that she plays. It's just what a fun character.
And you would never imagine because she's. I mean, I feel like she does such a good job at being such a big chief person. You know, it's like wow, like you would think she's really like that,
Right?
but she's not.
I know. It's great.
Yeah.
I actually liked in this episode how Adrian said he thinks of Valentina as a daughter, and he's helping you get the fashion internship, and you could stay in their
Even
place
though-
in Manhattan. I mean,
Didn't you think it was a little confusing how he like
yeah.
hugged?
Yeah,
And kind of like I was like a little too low.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Evelyn's eye was like,
Yeah, like what is going on? But yeah, and there was really nothing ever to hint at any weird sort of relationship between him
No.
and Valentina. And since he was going through his whole crazy, moment and breakdown, and Valentina was there to help him, it was kind of a totally different relationship. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's listening to her the same way that she's listening to him, and he's trying to help her. So yeah, we'll see what happens with the whole New York fashion internship.
Yeah, I actually really, really enjoyed the relationship that you guys had in this season. It was really sweet.
Yeah, we were at the beginning. I was like, oh my God, what's gonna happen before I knew? Once I found out I was gonna be working for them, and so I just remember thinking, is this gonna be creepy? Is he gonna be like
oh no,
with Flora? Is he gonna change? And I remember talking to Rebecca Wisocki about it, and we just kept guessing all these possibilities until finally we realized, okay, it's gonna be a different relationship.
Different dynamic.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Rebecca has said in a couple interviews that she would love for Valentina to make her a dress.
I know.
I think that's so cute.
We keep saying it, and she keeps telling me, and we actually thought it was going to happen this season because I was going to be working for them, but maybe next season. Yeah. She keeps thinking that Valentina should design something for her, and once she's more into her fashion career,
You're gonna go get the internship, and then you're gonna make the dress. For her.
Exactly.
And you're gonna make your wedding dress to Remy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
if it ever happens, right? It's like
That was such a sad little moment. You guys can't catch a break.
I know. I was like,
come on, guys.
It's so true though. Everything just keeps happening, keeps
I know,
pushing you
it's-
guys apart.
they're like star-crossed lovers.
It's always something. It's always either like my mom or his mom is sick, or he's got to go somewhere because his family's crazy and the dad.
or he was
whatever.
going through his problems in the first
Exactly.
season.
So it seems like we just keep getting pushed apart.
That's how you know it's real love.
Yeah. Well, that something will bring you guys
Even though Valentina had a little
Fling.
fling between.
I know. We were the whole season. We were like Team Remy.
Yeah, there were a lot of Team Remy supporters out there.
We kept forgetting to make the shirts.
Yeah, Team Remy, yeah.
Darn.
That would have been fun.
I know. And so how cute. Rosie gets engaged.
Gets married.
Very fast. I said, well, he's going to marry her so she can stay in the country.
That was a quick rehab.
Yeah, I know. We thought Betty Ford, right?
Yeah, a little 3-day rehab.
I thought you were in rehab. Nope, that's done.
Yeah,
I guess he knew what he wanted, and then it's probably also about realizing what your priorities are. And I think for him, it wasn't necessarily about the addiction of it. It was just about snapping out of it. And he's really always known Rosie and
she completes them. She
and his
makes them
son.
whole.
So those are the main things, and I think he just realized what he needed to do. And I'm glad they finally kind of seem to be
On the same
growing
level. Yeah.
together. We'll see what happens now that they're married, and it seems like they don't really discuss their financial situation accordingly.
And Carmen.
Carmen, yeah. So Carmen in the mix.
Yeah, I think that's gonna bring some interesting problems.
So
we'll see.
now you're working for your best friend.
Yeah,
and they can't afford to pay you. So
she's like, "Can you go get me some juice?"
From the
Carmen's
beginning,
it's in the fridge.
It was awkward from the beginning. I would never. Even if I had the money to afford it, I'd probably be like, I think you should work somewhere else. How weird would it be that you're telling your friend what to do?
Like, go get me a water.
Clean this.
Yeah.
I could
My
never.
toilet.
No.
What did you think about Carmen taking the job at Spence's place in the first place?
I thought it was fine. I could see Rosie's kind of side of the whole thing, but Carmen had no interest whatsoever. She just needed a job, and it happened to be Spence. But I thought it was funny the way she did it. Yeah, because she totally tricked the other maid because she didn't speak English, and she just kind of made
translation.
That's so Carmen. So other than that, I'm like, get a job, whatever.
And after what she went through,
Yeah.
can't really hate on her too much.
And it's funny how she could manipulate Spence so much into, oh, I don't want to clean today, or I'm tired, and he wanted to drink, and she's like, okay, well then I'm not gonna work tomorrow, and just all these deals that she would work because she's so lazy. She's like, I'm polishing, and she's
her nails.
And she's reading a magazine, and she's kind of not really dusting.
I love how the writers make all the characters so relatable because everybody has a friend that's Carmen.
Exactly.
Everyone has a Carmen as a friend in their circle, so it's fun to relate to. And
I love her.
Yeah. And, well, she was in this episode. She was in there a lot because in the beginning she meets the guy at the bar,
right?
And he's hitting on her. Yeah. So I want to see where that story is going to go. Actually,
I have a little theory. I don't know if I'm supposed to say my thoughts, but maybe I'm just thinking.
Can you get predictions?
Yes,
That's fine.
So I was thinking. He's, how he turns out to be married, and then he says, you can still meet with the head of talent, whatever, you have your appointment, but it turns out that it's my wife. So he's married, and she's all mad, whatever. Well, I'm thinking that maybe the wife is going to be Eva Longoria.
Dun, dun, dun.
A lot of people have been asking when is Eva going to make a little, cameo on the show, but that was...
I was like, oh my God, what is Eva Longoria?
That would actually...
I don't know, that would be kind of fun.
That would be
if
fun.
she came for a couple episodes or something.
That'd be an awesome way to get her.
Well, I know everyone wants to see her on the show, obviously, so...
Everyone wants to see her. I know that Marc discussed the possibility of bringing her in, but he didn't want to bring her in for something small, so he actually wanted her to have some
substantial role.
A character, So yesterday it occurred to me for the first time. I don't know why. I never thought about it before. I was just watching, and then it came to me. I'm gonna text Marc Cherry and ask him.
If not, you just gave him the idea.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a very good prediction.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
I'm so envious of you because we love Susan Lucci here. I've been watching her since I was a little girl. My mom would watch the novellas and all my children. And I'm like, oh my God, Erica Kane. But this role is it's amazing to see her play. And she has so much fun with it.
Yeah.
You can tell that you guys are all having so much fun.
You can definitely tell she's having a blast. I know that she's having fun when we're on the set. She loves what she does. She's such a hardworking woman. She's always working. And she's the sweetest person ever.
Amazing.
I will always remember the day I met her and how sweet she was introducing herself to everyone as if we were, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like nice
you
to meet you. And she was the one acting as if we were whoever. And she's
I'm so hoping that I look just
we say it all the time.
as good as she does when I'm her age.
That's the reason I started eating like salmon like twice or 3 times. I don't like it, but I read in like articles she eats that like every day. She does Pilates, and I got into Pilates because of her. So.
She does Pilates.
Yeah,
and
she's amazing.
Yeah, she eats healthy. She definitely takes care of herself, and she's such a down to earth person as well. It's the sweetest person ever.
How was your first day on set? Were you like just being around everyone? What did you?
It's funny because I don't think I was like super nervous, but it was definitely once I started working, it definitely, I was like, oh my God, you better not mess this up. I remember doing a scene and there was some sort of technicality with the camera where there's always a technicality. And you have to say your line this way even though the person's over here, but then your eyes have to be looking this way because your eye line and whatever. And I just remember having also direction from Marc and the director, and so I had all these notes coming at me, and I was like, okay, remember to make sure that when you walk, it's like 3 steps, and once you do the 3 steps, you look this way, and once you look this way, you look. And I was like, don't mess it up. But it was really fun. Everyone was really, really nice, and I think I was working mostly with Judy, and she's such a sweetheart, and she's always been there for me and always given me advice.
Motherly advice.
Yeah,
like your second mom.
So very thankful for everyone to kind of just open their arms and welcome me in such a warm way.
Seems like you guys all have a really great relationship.
We do.
Close-knit, like, which always makes the work environment like so much better.
So good. I mean, I'm lucky I don't have the experience of saying, yeah, I've worked on other sets where it's horrible. But I know other people who tell me it's not always like this. You know, we're blessed to have what we have here, and we're all friends and we're all close, and I really appreciate that because every time I show up to work, I'm happy to be there, and there's no drama with anyone. It would be so weird to have to be at the hair and makeup trailer or whatever and just kind of like not talking to the person next to you or something like that. I'd be like, so it's definitely a good, fun place to be.
How long were you guys shooting in Atlanta for?
5.5 months.
Okay.
How was that?
It's actually fun. I really like the city, and I made friends now, so I feel like I now have like
Your friends in
my friends in Atlanta and here, and I actually, I feel like I'm always finding new things to do because it's a new city, and now it's maybe getting to the point where I'm like, okay, I know what I'm doing. Restaurants are amazing. The food is so good, and everyone's so nice. It's not a stereotype. It's a true fact. The weather can be crazy. But because I know that I'm not gonna live there forever, I'm like, okay, it's cold right now, and it's raining every day, and I don't feel like, oh my gosh, you know, if I lived here, I probably wouldn't necessarily love it as much because I love my California weather.
Yeah, and you can't beat it.
There's nothing like it.
But it's always such a nice break, like when you leave and go somewhere else.
And being over there, I feel like it makes, at least for me, it's just work. And I think if I was here, I'd have a bunch of other stuff in between and things happening and events and whatever distracting me from that, which I feel like maybe I could juggle now, but for the first 2 seasons I thought it was really cool to just focus and do what I have to do. And it's really fun other than having to move there and move back because I hate packing. Oh gosh. So that's basically the only
what to bring. That's always the question.
That's always the problem.
My car, like I've been back for a month and a week or like 5, I don't know, something like that, and my car is barely coming back. I guess it was like high season for sending your car back because I ship it back and forth.
Summer, maybe.
So I'm like, oh great, they're barely sending my car, and it's full of stuff too. So I already unpacked everything I brought, and now I have to wait for my car, and I need to unpack the whole car.
Wait, how did you survive in LA for a month without a car? People don't walk.
Well, I know, right? I actually needed to. Last year, I needed to get a new car. Well, I didn't need to. I was ready to. I was ready to kind of like upgrade, and I just couldn't make my mind up. I was like, I don't know what I want. I just have no idea. So for 5 months, I kept thinking, and then I didn't make my mind up, and then we got picked up for a second season. So then we went back. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna wait, send my old car again, come back, get a new car. So came back, I got a new car. So now when my old car gets here, I'm gonna just get rid of it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks
for everything.
No, I was the same way. Just like picking out cars, it's a hard thing.
It's hard.
Like, do you want an SUV? Do you want a 2-door? But then I felt selfish if you have a 2-door because it's like, oh, I can't fit all my family.
And I love SUVs, but I was just like, oh my God, but then I'm always driving and it's so much gas.
I have an SUV.
I have an SUV too.
And when you have
I'm not a mom.
I love SUVs.
Too, but
unless it's a van, then it's kind of like a mom.
Yeah, exactly.
Then also it's like when you need to find parking in the street, sometimes if you have a smaller car, it's so much easier.
In LA it is, yeah.
So yeah, it was a hard decision, but I was just like, okay, I need to do this.
I'm embarrassing. I need a camera even in my little car because I can't parallel park.
I'm a good parallel parker.
You teach me.
One thing, I learned in a big car, so I think from there on everything was smaller. I think I learned in a Suburban. Oh, wow. Oh. That's a huge car. So learning how to drive in that car was like driving a boat. I used to intern for a photographer, and he had like old school Cadillac, like a huge one. A boat. And he'd be like, take my car to go like run an errand or something, and I'd be like, trying to park it, like I don't know what to do. Yeah, big cars are hard to park.
It's so good when you have a small car. I got a smaller car.
Awesome.
So do you have plans for the summer? Are you working on anything?
I actually just wrapped an independent film. So basically I got back from filming Devious Maids, and I had a week off, and then I shot for 4 weeks. And on Friday I just wrapped it, and I'm probably going to take a little vacation somewhere. I kind of want to go visit my family in Mexico, and then maybe go to a beach and just lay out.
What part of Mexico are you from?
The north. It's a small town called Torreon, which is by a bigger city called Monterrey.
Okay.
I always make that reference because nobody ever knows my hometown. I'm like, Torreon?
And I read you lived there, right? You lived in several places.
Yeah, when I was little, we moved a lot, and I lived in my hometown where my family lives now, but I also lived in another city in Mexico, which I love. It's beautiful. It's called Zacatecas.
That's where my family is from.
Really? It's beautiful. It's like, and I hadn't gone in a few years because I lived there when I was little, and I just recently went back, and it looks the same.
Really?
Because I think it's like a cultural, I can't remember what it's actually called, but basically you're not allowed to change any of the buildings because it's like a cultural thing, and
That's
like
awesome.
society, cultural, blah, blah, blah. So it's beautiful. And then I also lived in Barcelona 1 year, and then in San Diego. And then LA.
Nice little transition.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. So I try to go back to Mexico once a year.
Yeah.
It's nice.
I could see why the cold weather would bother you then.
Yeah, I am not good with it. It stresses me out. If I don't have a sweater, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to die.
Well, didn't you guys get stuck in that snowstorm, right?
We did.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was the weirdest thing ever. I was just like, this is what I see on the news. I don't live through these things. These things don't happen to, I remember getting pictures as a joke from my friends in San Diego or something. I think there was like a rainstorm or some sort of, it rained a little bit more than normal. And so there was a picture of a backyard with furniture from the backyard kind of like flopped and whatever. I was like, we will survive the storm. We will rebuild. But it's like nothing happened. Just joking, comparing to how these things that, I was so lucky. I left the set earlier and I made it home maybe like 1 hour instead of like 20 minutes. And then I realized this is not going to be good, but I was home, and one of the producers actually was stuck for like 16 hours on the road. And that's one of the many people that were...
Yeah, we heard stories about that snowstorm.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And everyone was making fun of it too. Like, oh, you can't handle 1 inch of snow, Atlanta? Like, oh, it's going to be ridiculous, whatever.
Well, that's like when it rains here in California, people can't drive.
It was drizzling today, and people
oh my God, I know.
people were like freaking out.
I was angry. I was like, I just washed my car.
I was like, I don't want my hair to get wet.
It's either the rain, like it'll randomly sprinkle, or someone's sprinklers are all crazy and like...
Listen, I was complaining about the weather here in
I
Los
know,
Angeles.
Right? In beautiful sunny
California.
Well, I guess it's July now. I was going to say June gloom, but it's like the leftover.
Because we didn't have that much June gloom. So
that's
it's
why
kinda,
it's kind of like lagging.
I'll get you.
You know, one thing we didn't talk about on the episode was the little love triangle that was going on.
With Yo Mama.
Yeah.
With Zoila, Pablo, and Javier.
She's trying to copy Valentina.
Yeah, I know, right?
And she's pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
This is so okay.
It seemed like it was so fast, right? Like,
I'm jumping ahead because this already happened on the first season. I was like, well, what if Zoila got shot and she loses the baby?
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, really? Would they repeat the same thing?
No, I don't think so. But
I would be a little disappointed.
Yeah.
So is it Javier's or is it Pablo's?
But then it's gonna be crazy if she really has a child.
Yeah.
It's going to be almost like Valentina's kid.
You're going to have a sister.
Like, I could have a kid. I don't know. It's weird because it's going to be such a big age.
I think it's Javier's because I have a feeling she went and got tested. I don't know. I could be wrong before like she slept with Pablo because it was in the beginning when she wasn't a match.
Oh, you're right.
So,
well, yeah, that's a good time frame.
Yeah.
That's a real life time frame, too. So we'll see if they follow real life.
The baby daddy.
Who's the baby daddy hashtag?
And you found out that your dad got dumped, and that's why he went back to your mom.
Oh my God!
Like, oh my God!
It was such a back and forth. My mom was ready to go back with him, and then the girlfriend came back and I guess revealed that actually she had broken up with him, and then my mom Zoila realized that she was like, okay, this guy is.
Was she really in her heart wanted to stay with Javier?
She did. I think it was like the final sign, like it was a sign that she needed to know that she wanted to be with Javier, just because that's what she wanted to do, and then she just felt guilty. One, because that's her husband, all the history, and
the kidney.
So all these reasons, and then she realized that he was kind of a liar after all.
Yeah, I'm glad that she told Javier,
I feel
though.
bad. I love my dad.
I know, it's like you're talking about your dad.
He just needs to get his act together.
Yes, definitely. He needs to get his act together.
I think this is gonna help with that.
Well, do you still think he's going to give the kidney?
No, he's not.
No, he's not. No,
Well,
but
as
I'm
of
saying,
now, he's not.
He's not. Yeah,
Well,
but
he
I'm
said
saying
no. But I mean, I guess he could still reconsider, right?
And Remy was asking you, well, hinting at it. I mean, that's so awkward. Like,
I know.
you guys love each other, date, and
Yeah,
like
it's
your
like,
dad
do that.
could save
I
his
know.
mom, but it's like, I'm like, oh man.
I just think Valentina, you know, you can see her sometimes she's so stubborn, and you can see how she's the level of immaturity, but then sometimes you see the level of maturity when there's that it's not the last episode when she comes and talks to her mom about like, you need to tell Javier what's happening, and so we see her kind of step up and be the adult, and then here when she tells Remy, well, you know what, this is his decision, I can't really tell my dad, it's a kidney, it's one of those things where
It's an organ.
yeah, I can see how, I mean, if I was Remy, I would ask too, because you have to try.
I mean,
But it's one of those things where
if that's your mom, you're gonna
have to try
at
everything.
least- yeah, you're gonna try.
you
So.
gotta try. You can't blame him for asking.
And speaking of Javier, he was so forgiving when your mom, when she told him.
I know.
Oh, I love.
It's okay.
I actually was tweeting because we do the live tweeting.
Yeah,
so
we did live tweet
I
with you guys.
tweeted that line that oh no, Zoila, why do you have to be so damn whatever? I can't remember. So adorable, so damn
or
adorable.
something, yeah.
Because he's just basically saying everything. He's just like perfect.
Yeah, he's perfect. He's one of
I
those guys that's
understand
perfect
you,
in every way.
and I'm like, oh my god, yeah.
I'm so glad Zoila found him.
I know.
I know. Happy for her.
Such a good find. Catch.
Do they really exist in LA? Yeah, exactly.
You gotta look elsewhere.
Maybe we gotta go to Georgia.
Oh, yeah.
No.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of nice guys in LA. It's just, it's just probably harder to find. I mean, it's a crazy town.
Yeah.
Everyone's crazy here.
So we're scaring off everyone that's listening that
know.
could
Yeah.
potentially
Don't
want to
move
move
to
to
LA.
Los Angeles. I'm sorry.
We just want to
But
keep it to
at least we're
ourselves.
getting the truth out there to you ahead of time, saving you a lot of pain.
So I read that when you first moved out to LA that you're not afraid to say like you did all different kind of jobs. Like you worked at a clothing store, you did the waitressing thing,
Yeah.
like.
I had a bunch of random jobs. Well, they were all a means to an end, kind of like a Valentina thing, where she works first with her mom and then by herself as a maid to just save money to go to college. For me, it was I just needed to make money so I could pay my rent and my food and my gas, which gas was a lot of money.
Yes.
I remember gas was a big part of my expenses. And I just needed to make money so that I could continue pursuing my dream. I try to find jobs that wouldn't really conflict. So at the beginning, it wasn't that good. I would have, maybe like half of the day, and then I would have the rest of the day for auditions. I actually ended up working at a gym, which was perfect because I could work from 5 in the morning till 11 in the morning. So then I was done for the rest of the day, and I could do my auditions. But after a few months, it was just too much. And so, I had like so many random jobs. And I would quit if for some reason it wouldn't work, or if I would book something and they wouldn't want to give me the days off. I'd be like, well, I'm not going to be able to do this because I would always
I think that's pretty common.
prioritize
People like pursuing like any sort of arts or, But I was going to ask you actually, what advice do you give to people that are possibly like listening that would want to pursue acting or pursue entertainment?
I think if you're definitely, if you want to be an actor, if you want to be a singer, sometimes there's the right place to be. And obviously, if you're pursuing acting, you want to be either here or New York. And if you want to be a singer, you know, it's like if you want to be a country singer, you probably want to be, I don't know, Nashville. Or just so you need to go to the right place so that you can expose yourself the most. I did realize when I moved here that a lot of people who live here are actors or writers or models or whatever, and like myself with part-time jobs to support themselves. But it's easy to get distracted from your goal and then just kind of build a life around your job that you're having and then party and whatever. And so I would say you just need to really stay focused and like I just think the word is like prioritize and be positive, because you're gonna have so many downs and I guess ups and downs, but at the beginning it's a lot of like downs and you just really have to believe in yourself and keep doing it. You just have to keep doing it.
Yeah. How long were you here in LA before you got Devious Maids?
I think it was like 5 years.
Okay, that's what I've heard a lot, is it's kind of 5 years. It's like right around the time.
And there's really never a timeline for anything. And for example, actually the guy that plays Ethan, Colin Woodell, he's still in college. And I don't know if he was on a break or something, and he auditioned for the show, so then he booked it, so then he took a semester off.
Oh, wow.
And so, you know, it could be one of those things where you're doing something else, and then something happens, and then...
Exactly.
For him, it was a cool experience, and then I think he's taking some summer classes now. So he's still finishing up, and it's kind of cool, because he's still... I don't know, I think that probably in his mind, he was thinking, I'm going to finish school, and then I'll go and do my thing. And then this came up, and it's such a great experience.
Yeah, I mean...
So you never know.
That's true, you never know.
Just gotta roll with the punches.
Yeah.
If you weren't acting, what would be your other dream job?
I've thought about it, and I'm not really sure, because it's like really hard. Once you do what you love, it's like, oh my God, nothing else would be as good. But I would enjoy, I think some sort of other performing would be awesome. If I could sing, I would want to be a singer, but... Right. No. So I don't know. Maybe I could also be into. I'm not a dancer or anything, but I think I would have maybe gotten into dancing. I'd want to be more into that. Or I also love literature, so maybe I would teach Hispanic literature. I really like reading, and a lot of what I've read is Hispanic authors. So maybe that would be a fun thing to do.
What are some of your authors you like to read?
I like Gabriel Garcia Marquez, Miguel de Unamuno. I mean, I like also stuff in English. I think my beginning with literature was in Spanish, and I kind of fell in love with it. Who else? Now I'm going blank with names, but Paulo Coelho, and he's Brazilian, but so I think that's where a lot of my passion would be. I just don't know how boring it would be after a while to keep teaching the same. Maybe I would just have to like have a different curriculum and
all the time.
Kind of not have the same books all the time. So that I'm like, okay, this is really old.
So I actually read somewhere that you would love to play a rock star. Is that true?
Oh my God, yes.
So my question, if you were to play any rock star, living, dead, who would it be?
I actually don't know if I would want to like play a specific rock star.
Be your own rock star.
Yeah, like, I just wish I could sing. I just wish I could be my own rock star. But I guess anyone would be someone badass, though. Yeah. Somebody that's totally just like a Nirvana sort of thing, but female version.
Yeah, I can see that.
I can see you playing that, putting some fake tattoos.
Yeah, leather jacket,
dark eye makeup, black nail polish,
exactly. Just do it.
Putting it out there.
Getting into character.
Exactly. Throw it out in the world.
In the Viper room or at the rainbow.
Yeah.
Getting into character.
Perfect.
Yeah, and if you were to play rock star on, say, something like that happened on Devious Maids, Rosalind could just like sing for you.
She totally could do it.
I just want Carmen to get her break.
Me too.
You know, so I'm hoping, well, now she's, I don't know.
How fun
you could be a backup dancer for her on the show.
But how fun would it be if suddenly the Devious Maids are like totally making it into their world of whatever their dreams are?
I think that'd be awesome.
Carmen becomes a singer and she's making it happen, and then Valentina starts designing. And
I know.
It's a totally...
That's why we love the show. It's so fun to see everything.
Well, Rosie's
unfold.
married now too. So.
Yeah, it's like dreams happen.
Yeah,
Believe.
yeah, exactly. Especially because when it first came out, the first season, I know there's tons of talk about, well, you're portraying Latinas as maids and blah blah blah. But like you said, now they're all kind of blossoming
They're
into
helping each other out.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's their whole life. It's not just kind of like, oh, this is whatever. It's and some of them do that for a living, and some of them are just trying to survive and make money, and there's no wrong or right. It's just a matter of it's life. And some people, like I had a job as a waitress or as a paralegal at a law firm just so that I could make money. But is that wrong? I mean, I never wanted to be a lawyer. I just wanted to make some money.
She need to put food on the table.
Exactly. So it's kind of like the same concept. It's just specifically here we are devious maids. Maids that are devious.
All the women on the show, though, are so like intelligent and smart and like have so much going for them. So, I mean, the talk of like, oh, you're portraying Latinas in a bad way. It's not the case once you watch the show.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I know, like I said last season, a lot of the cast and interviews would say that. But I do like I said, you just said now, everyone's kind of going.
And it seemed like it was at the beginning because nobody really knew, and it was just. Before they had seen anything, and then once the show started airing, it kind of ceased, and then everyone realized what the whole thing was all about.
Everyone's hooked, so that's a good thing.
I know.
I love that.
I think
I got you hooked last season.
Yeah, Candice actually got me started watching the show last season, and then I just like became addicted to it.
Nice. That's what I hear from a lot of guys too, because they're like, "Oh, my girlfriend got me to watch it," or like my guy friends, I watch it because of you, but now they're like, "Man, I'm hooked." It's kind of like once you start watching, you get into it, and sometimes guys assume that it's more a girly thing, and then they're so into it.
Yeah,
I'm so glad Lifetime picked it up because essentially it was supposed to go to ABC.
Exactly, yeah.
I think guys in general are afraid of Lifetime,
and I think that's changing too because I feel like now it's their content. It's really changing, and Devious Maids, Witches of East End, and now I don't know if you guys have seen. I just saw the previews for Lottery.
Yeah, I have a friend that works on it. I was looking at the trailer. I was like, it's
I'm
amazing.
like Lifetime.
So you guys don't have to leave Sunday nights. You have another show.
I heard someone talk about that. What is that?
It's about
is it like genetically?
I think so. When women can't have children anymore.
Okay.
And there's some crazy stuff going on in some lab, and it just makes you want to watch it when you see the preview.
So it starts this Sunday.
So we usually do predictions. So we can predict
what would you
next
like to see
season.
unfold for season 3?
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
That was extra long, actually. I know. So let's start with Francesca.
I don't know. I don't think I don't think anyone's fatally injured.
And the blood on the flowers was from a bird?
It was a bird or a catch-up packet, whatever. I gotta hear it. I gotta hear it.
I just totally thought of something else.
It
has nothing to do with what we discussed, but Rosie's husband is alive.
Oh
my God, that's right, Eduardo.
So something's gonna happen.
So she technically can't get married. She's still married.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Oh, prediction.
Just put it out there.
I hope that doesn't mean that they're gonna kill Spence off.
No.
You hear that, Mark? Don't do that.
Mr. Spence can't go.
Mr. Spence.
Mr. Spence.
We love him too much.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just really excited.
I think Genevieve's going to get her kidney.
I hope so.
Yeah, there's no way.
There's
I mean, Marc Cherry loves Susan Lucci more than he loves anyone of the maids and together. So I don't think Susan Lucci is going anywhere. Genevieve will survive.
Yeah, she's
the kidney
fighter.
Who do you think is going to have the kidney?
Maybe some random guest at the wedding party that got shot is a match.
There you go.
That's actually
it's a win-win situation. We got to keep all of our maids. No one dies that we like. So.
I think I don't think your character died. I don't think anyone died. And I think that you're going to go to New York and have this awesome fashion career and be this big fashion designer.
I hope so.
Yeah.
And design your wedding dress and marry Remy. Yes.
I really hope that Valentina finally gets a little bit of her fashion dream.
Me too.
So thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So great having you.
It's a pleasure discussing the show with you guys.
Yeah. So tell everyone where they can find you And
you guys can follow me and see all my crazy adventures and pictures and everything I post and share on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. All three. They're all Edy Ganem, at Edy Ganem. So it's pretty easy. First and last name together.
Pretty easy.
yeah.
And you can find me Instagram, Twitter, XOXOCESCA.
You can find me at Instagram and Twitter, Candice Buen.
And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook at Laila Sadny. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Don't forget to rate us 5s.
Yes. Rate us 5 stars.
Yes.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.